Hello and good afternoon to everyone. Also happy Ramadan to you. Now we start our class and I hope the rest of the students join us during the class. Alright? Okay, today is our 7th class, session 7, and I want to talk about data collection. Okay, the outlines of today's presentation is data collection definition, accurate and appropriate data collection. How is it? How is the appropriate and accurate data collection? The other outline is integrity of data collection, importance of data collection, and then data collection has two methods: quantitative data collection method and qualitative data collection method. And then I will mention things to consider to do, and finally I give a table as summary. Okay, for the definition of data collection, we can say that it is a process of gathering and measuring, okay, careful gathering and measuring information on variable of interest in an established systematic question that enables one to answer. Okay, so data collection is about gathering and measuring information, and then by data collection you can answer 1. A stated research question, 2. Test hypothesis, and then 3. Evaluate outcome. Okay, importance of ensuring accurate and appropriate data collection. If our data collection is in right side, so it means that it will reduce the likelihood of errors occurring. All right. So consequences from improperly collected data include inability to answer research questions accurately. So that means if you don't do your data collection correctly, so then you will face to inability to answer research questions, inability to repeat and validate the study, and distorted findings resulting in wasted resources. Okay, I think some of the students have problem to hear me. What about now? Now everything is clear or no? I hope my voice has become better because I don't know where's the problem now. I don't know, maybe because of some problem in internet. I'm not sure about the problem. Okay, you can follow up the slide with me if my voice is not very clear to you. Okay. Issues related to maintaining integrity of data collection. Alright, 2 approaches that can preserve data integrity and ensure the scientific validity of study results can be quality assurance and quality control. So these 2 approaches can preserve that data integrity and ensure you that you have a validity in your research, okay? So for each approach is implemented at different points in the research timeline, alright? So quality assurance, activities that take place before data collection begins, and quality control is activities that take place during and after data collection. So if you have accurate in 2 approaches, so it means that you come up to the validity of your research. Okay, why should we data collection part in our research? Okay, why do we have this part in our research? Importance of data collection. The first one, inaccurate data collection can impact the result of the study and ultimately lead to invalid results. So data collection is important because it should be accurate. If your data collection isn't accurate, it means that your result will be valid, alright? The second point, data collection methods for impact evaluation vary along a continuum. Qualitative method and quantitative method, alright? Now I explain each of these methods in next slide. Alright, for quantitative data collection methods, okay, the points you should know about that, the first one, that in quantitative data collection method, the most is rely on random sampling and structured data. Okay, the second one is produce results that are easy to summarize, compare, and generalize, alright? And it's concerned with testing hypotheses derived from theory or being able to estimate the size of phenomenon of interest. Okay, I put the red color for the most important point, okay? The other thing is, depending on the research question, participants may be randomly assigned to different treatments. And if it is not feasible, the researcher may collect data on participant and situational characteristics in order to statistically control for the influence on the dependent and outcome variable, alright? And the other important point is, if the intent is to generalize from the research participant to a large population, then the researcher will employ probability sampling to select participants. As last session we talked about the sampling, so now it mentioned that if the intent to generalize from the research participant to a large population, if you want to do this, then the researcher will employ probability sampling, okay? Employ probability sampling to select participants. Okay, typical quantitative data gathering strategies. What the most famous strategies for quantitative data collection? The first one is experiment, clinical trial, right? The second one is observing and recording well-defined events. For example, counting the number of patients waiting in emergency at a specific time of the day. The other strategy is obtaining relevant data from management information systems. And the last one is administering surveys with closed-end questions, for example, face-to-face and telephone interview or questionnaire, etc. Alright, administrative surveys. Okay, here we mention some methods for data collection for quantitative, alright, approach. Now explain one by one. The first one is interview. Interview is one of the methods that you can collect the data, okay? So in quantitative research, survey research, interviews are more structured than in quantitative research, okay? In a structured interview, the researchers ask a standard set of questions and nothing more, okay? So be patient and be careful. When you use the quantitative research, if you use the qualitative research to write the quantitative research, so you should use the structured method, meaning that you should have the standard set of questions, nothing more, okay? Another part of interview is face-to-face interview. Sometimes you interview face-to-face, okay? So now I explain about it. How is it? Okay, face-to-face interview have a distinct advantage of enabling the researcher to establish rapport with potential participants and therefore gain their cooperation. This is one of the advantages when you interview face-to-face. These interviews yield highest response rate in survey research, also allow the researcher to clarify immediate answer and when appropriate, follow-up information. This is another point for face-to-face interview. And also face-to-face interview has disadvantage, okay? Disadvantage include impractical, then large samples are involved, time-consuming and expensive, okay? So maybe if you sensitive about your budget and time, maybe you cannot use it, okay? You cannot use this form of interview. Okay, another way of interview is telephone interview. Telephone interviews are less time-consuming, less expensive, and the researcher has already access to anyone on the planet who has a telephone. So when you want to do telephone interview with people, you can call everyone that you want, alright? But it has disadvantages that the response rate is not as high as the face-to-face interview, but considerably higher than the email questionnaire. Alright, when you interview face-to-face, of course the person that sits down in front of you so should answer your questions so you can get more response. But by the telephone, maybe he or she refuse to answer your telephone, okay? So in telephone interview, you have less time consuming, less expensive, but you have this problem that you have a lower response, okay? The sample may be also another disadvantage for telephone interviews. The sample may be biased to the extent that people without phones are part of the population about whom the researcher wants to draw reference, okay? That means that maybe the people that should be your sample doesn't have telephone, doesn't access to telephone, and that means you miss them. So this is another disadvantage for telephone interview. Another interview method is computer-assisted personal interviewing, or in abbreviation we can say CAPI, alright? This is a form of personal interviewing, but instead of completing a questionnaire, the interviewer brings along a laptop or handheld computer to enter the information directly into the database, alright? So when you want to do CAPI, so you make an appointment with the interviewee, and then when you go there, you have a question in your laptop, and then just fill up the form in your laptop, okay? This method saves time involved in processing the data as well as saving the interviewer from carrying around hundreds of questionnaires. So when you don't have this questionnaire, so maybe you ask the interviewer any question, alright, but when you set them before you go to the interview, so you haven't used the questionnaire, so the interviewee doesn't need to answer lots of questions. This is the first point. Another thing, you will save time. You will save your time in the processing, because when he or she answer your question, then you read off this questionnaire and everything else. Doesn't mean that then go back home, listen to your interview again and get your point, okay? However, of course, this method also has disadvantages, okay? However, this type of data collection method can be expensive to set up and require that interviewers have computer and typing skills. This is very clear. Of course, when you use CAPI, you should know how to write very quickly, very fast. Your typing should be very fast, and also you should have a computer. So in general, we can say that the interview types can range from 6 to 3, okay? We have a structured interview, we have semi-structured interview, we have unstructured interview. In a structured interview, uses pre-established questions and in regimented order using a standard mode of delivery. Alright, so in a structure, of course, you have pre-established questions, meaning that you write everything before, okay? And ask in a predetermined order, okay? But in the semi-structure, as the name suggested, these interviews are neither fully fixed nor fully free, okay? Not a structure, nor unstructured. And in unstructured, attempt to draw out information, attitude, opinion, and beliefs around particular themes, ideas, and issues without the aid of predetermined questions. Okay, so in unstructured, you don't have any predetermined question. Just what comes up to your mind, you can ask. All right. Another categorized for interview types, we can say that interviews also vary in their level of formality. Okay, if we want to categorize the interview types in terms of level of formality, we can say the formal interview is just as formal. Perhaps the best analogy is the classic job interview that includes the office setting, the formal handshake, appropriate attire, order and structure, and best professional behavior. So when, for example, we want to have an example of a formal interview, we can mention job interview because most of the job interviews are very formal, okay? And also we can have an informal interview. An informal interview attempts to ignore the rules and roles associated with interviews and attempt to establish rapport, gain trust, and create a more natural environment, conducting open and honest communication. So when you have informal interview, then you should make your environment or planning friendly. You should create a more natural environment, and you should make something that your interview answer your question. All right, you should make this environment because it's informal. Another categorization for interview type, we can say interviewing can be done one-on-one or in groups. So if we have one-on-one interview, most interviews are an interaction between the interviewer and the single interviewee. It is thought that one-on-one allows the researcher control over the process and the interviewee the freedom to express themselves. So then you should think about your situation. If you want to have a one-on-one interview, meaning that your interviewee feel more free to talk about his or her idea about opinion, and then also you can focus on your interview more. But if you don't need something like this, you can arrange your interview as a group. So group interview involves interviewing more than one person at a time. Okay, this is very clear, of course, more than one person. This can be done in a formal structured way or may involve a less structured process where the researcher acts more as a moderator or facilitator than an interviewer. Okay? So when you have a group interview, meaning that the process of interviewing is not only dependent on you, right? You should do something that's direct and facilitator. Okay? Okay, also about conducting an interview that can generate relevant and critical data required as a requirement for a good interview. From planning, okay, complete and very good planning. Consider the preparation of an interview, schedule and recording. Then you should have a recording, very good recording. And you should have a schedule. You should have sufficient highlights. Okay, because the interview is the art, I think, in my opinion, it's very specific art, because you should know then talk about what and then how you can from the interview talk about the thing that you want, alright? It's a very sensitive thing, and like art, it should be like art, right? And reflective modification, the actual interview, and appropriate analysis. All of them are very important points for a group interview. So you should pay attention to these items. Okay, also two important consideration in interviewing are presentation of self and preliminaries, alright? So, about preliminaries, we can say be on time, set up and check equipment, establish rapport, introduce the study, and explain it. All of them are your preliminaries, okay? Okay, I think Professor Akram has a question about reflective modification. Let me answer him. I think, okay, here. Okay, reflective modification. It means that when you have a good interview, when you do your interview very good, so you can edit it, you can correct it, you can have a reflect of modifying, alright? I don't know if it's clear for you now or no. If no, again, at the end of the class, maybe we can talk more. Or if any of the student has idea, can explain to Mr. Akram now. Do any of you can explain for Mr. Akram?
I think explain that
Hello, I cannot hear you.
you cannot hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's good. No, now it's
Okay. Yeah. Reflective modification means that to collect the feedback from the interviews or the person you want to interview.
Can you ask me the question again?
Actually, my question was, what is the reflective modification during the interview?
Okay,
And what I noticed from your explanation, you said that the reflective modification means to have the feedback from the opposite person you want to do interview with them. Am I right?
yeah.
Okay.
And I try to find an example for you and again talk about it, okay?
Okay.
Alright. So, the question is process, because when we do the interview, so we have lots of questions, so how should be the questioning process? So listen more than talk. This is very important thing that you should consider in your interview, okay? The main aim of interviewing is to facilitate an interview's ability to answer, okay? So this involves giving respondents into the interview, asking strategic questions, prompting appropriate appreciating, okay? Keeping it moving, being true to your role, and winding it down when the time is right, okay? So you should not wind the interview down whenever that you want. Maybe if you do wind it down at the first of the interview, then he or she will answer the rest of your question. So you can wind it down when the time is right, okay? You should manage your interview. Again, some of the students I think cannot hear me very well. Okay, try to do something. I hope now it's better. Alright? Okay, recording responses. Recording responses can be done in a number of ways during the trial, a couple of recording methods in order to assess what is best for you, okay? For example, note-taking, and this can range from highly structured, open, and structured. Okay, so you want, when you have the interview, of course, you should do your records, okay? There are three ways of recording. The first one is note-taking. The second one is audio recording, meaning allows you to preserve raw data for review at a later date. And then also you can do your recording by videotaping. Okay, videotaping offers the added bonus of being able to record visual communication, but is more interesting. Okay, it's prone to more technical difficulties and can generate data that is hard to analyze. This is advantage and disadvantage of videotaping. Okay, the other method of data collection for quantitative, okay, is questionnaire. Paper-tested questionnaires can be sent to a large number of people and save the researcher time and money. Of course, you can publish your questionnaire and copy lots of paper, and then you can grade them to the respondents. People are more truthful while responding to the questionnaires regarding controversial issues, in particular due to the fact that their responses are anonymous. Okay, but they also have drawbacks. Majority of the people who receive questionnaires don't return them, and those might not be representative of the originally selected sample. So when you want to collect your data by questionnaire, you should be really patient, because maybe sometimes you give around, for example, 200 questionnaires into 200, you give your questionnaire to 200 persons, alright, but maybe receive only 20. That is real thing that happened in your research. And so you should be very patient when you want your data collection by questionnaire, okay? Another type of questionnaire is web-based questionnaires. Of course, you see in the internet, a new and inevitably growing methodology is the use of internet-based research. Sometimes you receive the mail and that sometimes you receive some mail that please answer this questionnaire. This is web-based questionnaire, okay? Means receiving an email on which you would click on an address, and that would take you to secure website filling a questionnaire. Alright, this type of research is often quicker and less detailed. So because you want to encourage the person to answer your questionnaire, okay? So when you do your questionnaire in web-based questionnaire, and you want to encourage people to don't omit your email and answer your questionnaire. So you choose short questionnaire. So in this type of questionnaire, you should mention less things, okay? And some disadvantages of this method include the exclusion of people who do not have a computer or are unable to access a computer. Of course, maybe you don't have email address of some respondent that you need their idea, you need their answer, but they don't have access to a computer, or maybe you don't have their email address. Also, the validity of the survey also the validity of such survey are in question, and people might be inherent capabilities and so might not give accurate responses. And sometimes they are your colleague, they are your friend, they want to help you, but they don't have enough time, so they don't answer your question carefully. So this is another disadvantage of web-based questionnaire. Also, questionnaire often makes use of checklists and rating scales. These devices help specify and quantify people's behavior and attitude. So what is checklist and rating scale? Okay, a checklist is a list of behavior characteristics or other indices that the researcher is looking for. Okay, either the researcher or survey participants simply check whether each item on the list of 0% or 2 or 5%. Okay, A rating scale is more useful when the behavior is evaluated on a continuous. They are also known as Likert scales regarding to leading and Homer 2001. Alright, so it depends on you that when you arrange and write the question, so you should avoid questions something like this. Okay, fully worded question. It means complex terms and language, ambiguous questions, double negative, double barrel questions, or bias leading or loaded, string true statement, hard to statement, leading question. Sometimes when we fill up the questionnaire, then we can understand that the writer leads us to answer something that he or she wants. Okay, it's not your questionnaire shouldn't be biased or leading or loaded. All right, it is very important. Be careful about it. And limits for the respondent. For example, recall dependent question, offensive question, very bad questions with assumed knowledge. Even another very common mistake that when you arrange your questionnaire, you ask about something that the respondent doesn't have an idea about it. If you want to question something like this, better that before this you make some information for the people who want to answer, alright, and then question it. Maybe sometimes they don't have deep knowledge, okay? Question with unwarranted assumption and question with partiality variable responses. All of these points that I mentioned in this slide, you should review to read your question, okay? Okay, about response categories, survey question can either be open or closed. About open question, each question and respondent construct answer using their own words, alright? Open question can generate rich and candid data, but it can be data that is difficult to code and analyze. And about closed question, this question forces respondents to choose from a range of predetermined responses, okay? And are generally easy to code and effectively analyze. So, in my opinion, it depends on you that how much you want to make narrow the answer of your respondent. Alright, if you need only their whole idea, their whole opinion, you can use open question. But if you want to have a very specific answer, you should use closed question that you can analyze them very specifically. Okay. Alright, we talk about quantitative methods, data collection, and talk about interview and questionnaire. And now we want to talk about qualitative data collection methods because some of the students and their research method is qualitative. Okay, so in this method, play an important role in impact evaluation by providing information to understand the process behind the result and ascertain the critical perception of their value. Okay. Furthermore, qualitative methods can be used to improve the quality of surveys. So we have quality of survey based quantitative evaluation by helping number one, generate evaluation hypotheses. Number two, strengthening the design of surveys. And number three, questionnaires and expanding. Or number four, clarifying quantitative evaluation findings. Okay. These methods are characterized by the following attributes. Okay. They tend to be open-ended and have less structure protocol. So this is the point that you should know. Open-ended and have less structure protocol. Alright, for example, researchers may change the data collection strategy by adding, finding, or dropping techniques or formats. Okay? They rely more heavily on interactive interviews. Respondents may be interviewed several times to follow up on a particular issue, clarify concepts, or check the reliability of data. So when you do the qualitative research, you should do the interview that, okay? Meaning that maybe several times you interview only with one person, okay? Also, they use triangulation to increase the credibility of their findings. For example, researchers rely on multiple data collection methods to check the authenticity of their results, okay? And the other point about qualitative method data collection is generally their findings are not generalizable to any specific population, okay? Rather, each case study produces a single piece of evidence that can be used in general patterns among different studies of the same issue. So when you do your research in qualitative method, doesn't that not generalizable to any specific population, okay? Okay, for qualitative method data collection, okay, things to consider. The first thing, regardless of the kinds of data involved, data collection in a qualitative study takes a great deal of time, the first point. The second, the research needs to record any potentially useful data thoroughly, accurately, and systematically using field notes, sketch, and photographs, and other suitable. The data collection method must observe the ethical principle of research must. It is not should, it is not publication. Be careful about it. And the qualitative method most commonly used in evaluation can be classified into broad categories. The first one, in-depth interview that I talk about is observation method and document review. This is the three ways of data collection for the students who their research in qualitative method, okay? Alright, and finally we come to the last slide. In this slide we can see the comparison between qualitative and quantitative data collection, alright? For example, qualitative data collection for phases in the process of research. For example, sampling. In sampling, when you do qualitative data collection, so it's to have purposeful sampling strategies, a small number of participants and sites. But for sampling in quantitative data collection, you have random sampling, adequate sites to reduce sampling error and provide submission, okay? Or for predictions, I think they are the same, but for data sources, they are different. In qualitative data collection, you have open-ended interviews, you have open-ended observation, document, and audiovisual material. But for quantitative, you have instrument, checklist, public document. And for example, the other part is recording the data. In qualitative data collection, you have interview protocol, observational protocol, but in quantitative, you have instrument with scores that are reliable and valid. And for administration data collection, both of them attending to ethical issue, but quantitative data collection, standardization of procedures, and qualitative data collection attending to field issue. Alright? So now the slide for explaining the data collection finished. If you have any question, you can ask me now. Thank you. I hope my voice become better because I don't know exactly the problem. What's the problem? All of you have a problem to hear me, or some of you? Who can hear me very well? All right. What about now? Better now? All right. If you have any question, you can ask me now. If not, we can talk about your research. And also, I think Mr. Ekman had a question about statistics session 5, the previous class. Now I bring some slides to explain for him. All right, if you have a question, you can ask me, or I can continue my class by saying that. All right. I think no question, yes, because none of you asked me anything. Yes, Mr. Ahmed Javad, do you have questions?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Furmanian. I have a question. We all received an email from Worldwide Time giving instructions to the students to submit our thesis and our research to different supervisors. And there it said that we have to choose our topic according to the specialization that we have already agreed with Worldwide Time with other professors. So this may be in conflict in some cases with some of the students. For example, in the case of my own topic, which is marketing for non-profit business, it is completely different to what I have agreed in terms of my specialization with the management of Worldwide Time. I don't know if this is going to pose some problems or challenges in the future for us. Thank you.
Okay. I think Mr. Ahmed Javad Baba, because your voice is not very clear to me, but I can guess that you want to talk about the recent email from WWF that they mentioned the students about the research of the student and supervisor. All right, as in this email, you read that those students and their topic, their research in the field of strategic management, I can be their supervisor. The students who do their research in marketing, they should be under supervision of lecturer marketing, I forgot his name, and those students who do their research in finance under the CAPI. All right, for you, Mr. Ahmed Jawad, because your proposal, your research proposal, I received your research proposal, and your topic is about marketing in non-profit business in Afghanistan. So I think I cannot supervise you, and you should do your research under Mr. Tabwai, I think, yes, under supervision of Mr. Tabwai, your marketing lecturer, okay? But you can attend all of my class, all right? And you can also, yes, right, Mr. Rasul Tabwai, yes. Okay, sorry, Tamavi, yes. Yeah, Mr. Rasul Tamavi. So you can attend, I mean, you should attend the class of research methodology and finish everything you need. But your proposal, your research proposal should be under supervision of Mr. Rasul Tamavi, all right? So I don't know, I can explain to you, I can answer your question, or you ask me about something else because your voice is not clear. If you have other question, you can write for me in the chat box. All right. Also about Dr. Barak, I think you also should do your research proposal under supervision of Mr. Tabwai, that I received your email that you forward to me, because your research proposal, of course, is about marketing and business plans about marketing. So I think you should correspond about your research proposal and writing research to Mr. Tabwai, okay? Tamawi. And Mr. Ekmal and Mr. Abdul Samad Nazari, your research proposal is about something about management, and you can be under my supervision, no problem. And then, I don't know if you can see other students in class or no, but still many of them didn't send me any topic. So if you can tell them that you send me their topic, and also the next session, in the last session that I explained to you, I present to you, and after that your presentation will start. So I think that you should finalize your topic and proposal with me, and then you can make the slides, okay? About the research proposal writing, it doesn't matter if I didn't write the book, because the most important thing is your topic, and you can continue your work and prepare your slides, and then you present in the class. I will see your work and make some comments, and also your classmates give you comments too. And after that, you can do your correction, okay? Another thing that first, Mr. Ahmed Jawad Safwan has of course, I don't know what exactly you mean, Mr. Ahmed Jawad Safwan, but yes, for example, in strategic management, the students do many topics under strategic management, different topics, okay? For example, or in marketing field, the students different research under marketing, but different topics, okay? So of course, no problem. I don't know, can you get your answer or no? If not, again, write in the chat box, okay, your question, write your question for me. And another thing that when today, maybe I invite you a group for the presentation, and I think you should send your slides at least 5 days before your term, okay? So because 5 days before your presentation, I should see your slides and then read them, and then in the day of your presentation, I can give my comments. So please tell your classmates also that they should send me their slides 5 days before, at least 5 days before the time for the presentation. Also, I will send an email and explain to you these rules for presentation, and also I will divide you in the group, right? Okay, alright, in this class, alright, session 5, we talk about research strategies and case studies. Alright, now I want to give some more explanation about this, because on that day, Mr. Eichmann asked me about the holistic case, alright, and then now I want to explain more. Of course, last session also I brought in, but I forgot to explain. So today, if you don't have any other question, we can talk about this. Okay. So if you agree, we can answer Mr. Eichmann's question in this session. All right. Okay. So case study, the key features for case study, it provides a rich understanding of a real-life context, uses a triangulates a multiple source of data. A case study can be categorized in 4 ways and based on 2 dimensions. Okay, on that session we thought that we have a single case versus multiple case, and we have a holistic case versus embedded case. And then Mr. Eichmann asked me, what is holistic case exactly, and what's the difference between holistic case and embedded case? All right. Now I want to explain to you. Okay. Yin and they explain this as below. All right. Use different terms to describe a variety of case studies. Yin categorized case studies as exploratory, or descriptive. That I talked about this before, right? We also differentiated between single holistic case study and multiple case study. Now today we want to focus on this. Single holistic case studies and multiple case studies. All right. Now I want to give you an example that is here for you. Alright, for example, if we consider the topic of cancer surgery, again, we can begin to discuss how to determine the type of case study and the necessary number of cases to study. Alright, if we have a single holistic case, okay, might be the decision making of one woman for a single group of 33-year-old woman facing cancer surgery, okay? But remember that also have to take into consideration the context, okay? So are you going to look at this moment on one environment because it is a unique or a extreme situation? If so, you can consider a holistic single case study, alright? So the problem is cancer surgery, alright? And it depends on you if you want to investigate cancer surgery only in the woman as a group of a 30-year-old woman facing cancer surgery and their behavior. It fits into the holistic case, holistic single case study. Okay, but then okay, now we read the rest and then I explain for you that the single case is embedded. Okay. Now, if you were interested in looking at the same issue, meaning surgery cancer, okay, but now we're integrated by the different decision made by women attending different clinics in one hospital, then a holistic case study with embedded units would enable the researchers to explore the case while considering the influence of the various clinics and associated attributes on the woman's decision making. Alright, so now you don't want to investigate this issue only in one hospital or only in one clinic or group, okay? You want to investigate the different decisions made by women attending different clinics within one hospital, okay? Now, if you do this, that you use the single case with embedded units. Embedded units here meaning different clinics, okay, in the one hospital. Alright, so again I want okay, the ability to look at subunits that are treated within a large case is powerful when you consider that data can be analyzed within the subunit separately, okay, between the different subunits. Alright, and then the rest, the next slide. Okay, I want to explain which case study. Alright, if a study contains more than a single case, then a multiple case study is required. This is often treated with multiple experiments. You might find yourself asking what is the difference between a holistic case study with embedded unit and a multiple case study. Okay, so this is a good question because the simple answer is that the context is different for each of the cases. Alright. If we want to continue with the same example, the issue was cancer surgery, alright? If you wanted to study women in various healthcare situations across the country, then a multiple or collective case study would be indicated, okay? The case would deal with the decision-making of women in their 30s, but you would be able to analyze the different decision-making process engaged by women in different centers. So, as a summary, so we have this problem, cancer surgery, alright, for the woman in 30 years old, alright. So, if you investigate this problem and the reaction of the woman for this problem in only one unit, in only, for example, in one clinic or in only one hospital, meaning single case study. If you investigate this behavior of women 30s for this issue, I mean cancer surgery, in different clinics of one hospital. So the hospital one was different clinic inside one hospital. It means that your case study is holistic. Alright? Single case with embedded units, or single case with embedded unit. Okay, embedded unit means different units. But if you want to investigate the behavior of these women 30 years with the same issue again, cancer surgery, in different hospitals all over the country, it means multiple case studies. Alright? So I think now you can get a better idea about what is the holistic. Alright, here we have a holistic single case study only in one hospital, single case with embedded units, meaning one hospital but different clinics inside this hospital, and different hospital, meaning multiple case study. I don't know if it is clear for you or no, Mr. Akman. Can you understand the difference between these cases now? Is it clear?
Yeah, thanks a lot for your explanation. Could you please again summarize the whole case study, both type of this study in a few words.
I cannot get your question. Can you write for me? Because your voice is not clear for me. Today, I don't know, we have lots of problems with voice. All right, any other student? Do you have any questions? Please ask me now. All right, Mr. Agna, I will summarize with these examples. Okay, our respondents are women that they are 10 years old. All right, the issue is surgery, cancer surgery. All right, so our research is investigate the attitude of these women in terms of surgery, okay, cancer surgery, how do they act, okay? All right, so if we investigate this group of women, 30 years old, in only one hospital, it means our case study is single and it's holistic, all right? It's holistic, it means it's wide, it's only in one place. For example, in hospital A, all right? But we investigate the attitude of this woman, the woman of 30 years old, with the same issue. Again, our issue is same, cancer surgery. In again one hospital A, but in different clinic of this hospital, meaning that your case study is single with embedded meaning, okay? Because embedded meaning is that different clinic inside one hospital as a general level, right? Or, and finally, if you investigate the attitude and the action of the woman, 30 years old woman, same issue again, cancer surgery, not only in hospital A, for example, in hospital all over the country, hospital A, hospital B, hospital C, means your case study is multiple case study. All right, I think now you can get that idea about it. And what do you mean by the extra slide you explained before? What do you mean by before? Because I sent you all the slides of last session. Session 1, session 2, session 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you mean this slide, this first slide that now I explain for you, I will send you. The slides of the presentation that now I will use this slide. Do you see this slide? All right. Also, I want to ask a student who their research is not under my supervision. So, if they want to have the comments of their classmates, also they can present in our class, in our research methodology class, and get the idea of the rest of the students. And if they don't want, they can only respond to their supervisor. Right? For example, Mr. Ahmed Jawad Wafar, the research proposal is under Mr. CAPI. Okay? So if you want, you can present your research in our research methodology class. And also we can invite Mr. CAPI that listen to your presentation, and also you can get the idea from the rest of the class. But if you don't want, you can only correspond to your supervisor, I mean Mr. CAPI, and get his idea, alright? It depends on you. But the rest of the students that they work under my supervision, they should, it's a must, it's not optional. They should present their research in my class, okay? And if I didn't receive any PowerPoint slides from the student, I will not correct or comment in their research, okay? Because it's very important that they present their research. They explain, alright, and they can answer the question. And this way I can understand anything, okay? So I will divide you in different groups for 9th class and 10th class, 11th class, and 12th class. You have 4 classes for your presentation, and I will divide you those groups, and then you will present your stuff. Alright. Now, if you have any question, you can ask me now. Alright, about a student that their research are not under my supervision, just let me know that they want to present their research in our class or no, that I can put their name on my group, alright? Because I want to divide the student groups by today or maybe by tomorrow, so I need to know that you want to present or not. So let me know about it, okay? Yes,
excuse me.
Yes.
Yes, excuse me, I have not received your comment so far, so I don't know about my research proposal. So, have you read it or what?
Yeah, I have a look at it, and I think in last class I told you that you can Last class, did you attend the class or no?
Yes, I attended, yeah.
All right. So I think yes, I give comments to you. I think I told you that your research proposal is okay, your topic is okay, and you can continue your work. And just I ask you to make shorter the problem statement, research, and yes, that's all. Because many points under problem statement, and
Okay.
many points. You do it again and send to me?
Yeah, I think I revised it and then I sent it to you, yeah.
All right. I will see it and inform you. All right. Okay.
Okay,
But
okay,
you
thank
can
you.
continue your work because the whole idea is okay, and only maybe some comments in how to write it. Then it doesn't matter. You can continue your work, and then I will respond to your new, revised research proposal by 2 days later. All right?
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
For your attention.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Mr. Ekman asked me about how do you think using Facebook for collecting comments or ideas of different people as part of survey or interview? Okay. Okay, Mr. Ekman, it depends that you want to ask about everyone in Facebook or a specific group. Can you explain for me?
Yes, actually my question was general, not to specific case or specific survey, because nowadays when I see most of the people when they want to have comments of people about some issues, they're using Facebook for this kind of survey. For example, some people today, I saw on Facebook page that some people ask others to know about their blood groups, for example. So this will be like 4 or 5 box, and then divided by type of blood groups, and everyone then vote to them. So this kind of things I think also may be possible or no for some specific survey or other case studies.
Of course, Facebook as one of the most famous place that many people attend and are and you can access the data. You can use Facebook, okay? But I think it's better that, for example, you choose a specific group in Facebook. For example, this group that we have, MBA group, because these people that join this group, MBA group, okay, they have some academic behavior. So when you ask them some question, you can get the better answer. Alright, this is the first thing that I think you can search in a Facebook the group that you think they are more useful for your data collection. Okay, I don't know. I think that your research proposal is about ASAPS. So, for example, about these, maybe there are some groups in Facebook, or about agriculture problems in Afghanistan, maybe there are some groups in Facebook. So you should find the more related group in the Facebook.
Actually,
yes.
I didn't ask of this Facebook using in term of my topic, because my topic is specific and also it is in a specific area and different provinces of Afghanistan. We are already working on that practically, and mostly we have traveling and we're using what we study today in lecture, like group interview, individual interview, also some structured information, semi-structured, and also some unstructured information. But my question was general as the usage of Facebook for today. For example, these days Facebook is a great tool for even for revolution and form of country. For example, if we look for Egypt, most of the youths, for young people, they were using Facebook for their gathering and for also for this kind of things to stand for the government.
All right. I don't know that I get your question or no, but if I'm not mistaken, you want to know that Facebook can be referred as a data collection or not. I mean, you want to ask me about that. If your data collected from Facebook, can you refer to this data or no? Is it valid? Does it have validity or no? Yes?
Yes, because actually that I'm not asking that I myself will use Facebook for my topic or for my research. This was my question as general for some other things like people doing nowadays in the country or even in the world. Yeah.
Okay. All right. As a whole, all right. Now I got it. Okay. As a whole, you cannot use Facebook, for example. You cannot write a simple question. For example, you write about not you, everyone. I mean anybody. Write one of the question of the questionnaire on the wall, and then collect the idea from the comments. It's not possible because after you submit your research, your supervisor can access to your data. So your supervisor cannot go to your Facebook account and then see that this data that you refer your analysis on is it valid or not, because I cannot go to your account, alright? The only way that maybe you can use a Facebook as collecting the data is in message box that you email to the people and then receive their answer in the message box, and then you can forward them to me as a supervisor, for example. That's all. I mean, my point is you should gather and collect your data as a way that you can show to the supervisor later then, okay? You cannot, for example, just ask the people around you about your research, about the research question, and then write it in your research, because just you ask them and then they answer you without any record. So you should do your data collection in a way that you can have a record on it. For example, email can, because email, all the emails that you send and then they respond to you are recorded in your inbox. Okay, so after that, if for example supervisor has some question about one of the data, you can refer to the email, alright? But bulk in a Facebook, of course you cannot refer to it. Only, I think, in my opinion, the only thing in the Facebook that you can use is messages, alright? Because it is something like a mailbox. And after that, you can answer, you can refer to this for your supervisor. All right. I don't know. You can. I can explain for you, or your question is something about something
Thanks
else.
so much. Now it was quite enough explanation, and I got my answer. Thanks so much.
All right. You are welcome. Yes, as you mentioned in the chat box, nowadays Facebook is a great tool for revolution in some countries, and people inform each other to launching some process. Yes, of course, for giving information and ask about people ideas, Facebook is very good, but because you do the academic research, so you can only do your data collection as a way that you can record of it, alright? So as this way, you can use Facebook, but you can use it as an academic way. You can use as a text message, something like this. If, for example, a student chat with each other, and then in the chat box they ask the questionnaire and the answer, of course they cannot record it very well and they cannot refer in their data collection. But in other parts of Facebook, maybe you can. That's all. That's all. Alright. If any other question, you can ask me now.
Think I have no more questions.
You are welcome.
I'm not sorry. I just revised my research topic according to your instruction in last class, and I hope I will finish it today or maybe tomorrow, and I will send it to you again, and you will see that, and I will have your comment.
Sorry, I cannot get your question. I cannot hear you very well. Can you ask me again?
Yeah, I just said that I got your comment about my research topic in your last class, and I already working on the research to revise according to your instruction and also in the sample you sent to us. And I will, when I finish, I will send it to you by tomorrow, maybe, or day after tomorrow.
All right, all right. It's good. Maybe if your work is okay and you can do it completely, maybe I can put your name in the first group of presentation. Depends on your work. You can send me.
Okay, I will see. If I could to complete my work on time, I will let you. Otherwise, I will be late for a week more.
All right, no problem. It's okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. If other question, you can ask me. So I will email to you the groups that I want to make you in a group. I will email to you and with the date and the name of the presenter, and also I will mention in my email the rules of presentation. And if you have, for example, very necessary question, not comments about the research proposal. Sometimes when you do your research, maybe you have a big question that if you don't have answer of this, you cannot continue your work. So as this way, you can email to me and put in your subject that big question, something like this, that I understand that I should reply to you very, very soon, all right? But as a comment, as a total comment on your research, whenever I have a time, I see your, I have a look on your research and I will give you the comments in the class or by the email, no problem. But the most comments that I will give to your research proposal will be in the session of your presentation, because I read your presentation 5 days before, and then I have an idea, and then after you present, I can give you my comments. Also, the classmates can. So please give me time for review and reading your research proposal. But make sure, I want to make sure that I will comment to your research proposal whenever I have time. But if you didn't receive any comment from me, you can wait until the day of your presentation. On that day, of course, I will give my comments and all of the idea. All right?
All right,
But
thank
if
you.
you have a big question, you can mention the subject and I will respond to you very soon. Yes, Mr. Eichner.
Yeah, thanks so much. I just listened to your instruction, and actually today's lecture was giving me a good picture about how to conduct survey in these types of work. And however, I'm already doing the same thing as we learned today in today's lecture, and also it will more improve and more help me how to formally do my work and so on. And also I will share my work progress at the middle, also even at the end of my work. And also I don't want to take your time and always for any single work, but I will share all these work at the end or close to end of my final research topic, because I know you also have a lot of work and also maybe another business. So as a general, I collected or I got it your instruction and information, and I will follow the way you already discussed and learned to us. Thank you so much.
Okay, you are welcome. All right. Whenever you finish your work, you can email to me. Maybe because I want to put you in the first group, I will give my comments to you soon. All right. Maybe 3 days or 4 days after I receive your email, that you can prepare yourself for the presentation. It depends on you. All right. Okay. All right. I will do it. I try to do it.
Then I will send you my presentation, and we'll have you comment, and then after I will be ready to present to the classmates.
All right. I will try to do this. Okay. I can follow up this procedure. All right. No problem.
Okay, yeah.
All right, dear student, if you have any other question, you can ask me. If you don't have any question and you think we can finish the class, just put in the chat box. That's all. Thank you. Alright, I hope you have a very good weekend, and I hope to see you in next class. Thank you very much. Goodbye.